Meredith.
Okay, so welcome to the April meeting of Ocean Tower 1. Roll call, Mr. Lopez,
Here.
Ms. Zapata,
Here.
and Mr. Hill.
Here.
Okay, so we have proof of notice. We've posted and sent the notice to everybody. Do I have a reading or waiver, or would the board like to read or waive the reading of the previous minutes?
Waiver. Second.
Okay. President's address?
Well, there's not much to, do we have anybody on? Just to
I think so.
Oh, that's good. Doesn't say
I'm
one.
not really sure. I gotta say that. I have to get on. That's why Natalie does it that
Let's
way.
presume we're on.
Yeah, no, we're definitely live.
Huh?
We're definitely live.
Okay, we're live, and we're presuming anybody who wants to, will be on. And the financial report for I know I tried to give a briefing of financial report of the situation, and it wasn't as simple as we had the old simple accounting. Now we've got a little bit more complicated. But the numbers are good, but too good to be true, for what I see. You know? We're having a surplus. And so basically, there's no crisis to communicate to the members who are assisting, who are seeing it on the TV. So basically, we're working quite a few things, and I think nothing has very changed since the last time we communicated. We had our meeting and we communicated to our members. And I don't have any other thing to mention. I think anybody as a member of the board has any comment you'd like to make on this situation?
We'll wait to hear from Maria.
Well, in accounts receivable, first of all, I want to thank the unit owners that signed up for ACH and that have been very cooperative in mailing in their payments. We have outstanding, not including this quarter, we have outstanding $59,000, which is over 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
And we are working hard with unit owners that are outside of the country to stabilize that a little better.
Yeah.
Because there's where we have, for this quarter, about $74,000 in outstanding maintenance fees.
But
so we would really like to bring that number down.
You know, let's face it, sometimes there'd be some couple like years we had we started with the accounting, etc. We had quite a bit of a little crisis. Now everything is, somebody might be late, or they might not.
Right, and no, the unit owners are really working with us, and I hope that they feel we're working with them.
No, we don't have a crisis.
Not yet, no.
A major,
not in a crisis mode.
And the first crisis we had when we had to change from the old accounting, etc. That has been we passed that. I think most of the owners have looked away of paying it, and we try to work on that. So I don't think we have an issue with that. That's the normal situation that money comes in, and we have to be registered when they do.
Okay, so we're going to be going to general building issues and discussions. And I am going to take the easiest thing first, which is the electric car installation.
Yes.
As you know, we have given that to the attorney, and the attorney from California have discussed the differences in the contract and the laws in California and here. The main difference, other than the material obligation, is the exclusivity issue, that all unit owners have the right, maybe not the ability to, but have the right to put in a charging station in their own parking space.
Sure.
But as we know,
They can't do it.
half of the building cannot do that.
Yeah.
So once we sign the contract, unless there is a material defect or some way that we can cancel the contract for non-performance, then we cannot come in and say that we're gonna go with Everest for Evercharge now and then bring in a Blink and put it in. Because it's,
A unit owner, say in 7-0 whatever, that can you put one in at his or her spot, can get whoever they want, or do they have to go to this company?
that is what we want.
Right.
That is what the building wants, what the board wants to do. And that is where the rub is between the Florida law and the California law. Or I guess a company working in Florida, because the unit owners have the right to put in here whatever they want. So we want to make sure that,
Because here, you could use FPL, no?
correct.
So if we sign this, you can't use FPL, you have to use this company.
That's what we are working towards not having that as part of the
But
contract.
That's the big issue right now.
That's the big issue right now. And then the board would have to make a decision to either sign with the Evercharge or then go back to the drawing board.
Well, Emilio, you've been working on this, what's your,
I think we're mixing a little bit things. The ideal in the future, we have said, is to put
Right.
one charging station for every 2 or 3 charging spaces that an owner owns. And this is the logical thing, and this is what will happen in a few years. I'm saying a few years because we don't have the electric capacity to do that.
Right.
And FPL is not cooperative right now because probably they're up to here with requests like this, which they cannot meet at the moment. So we have a patch, and the patch, whether it's with Blink or with Evercharge, is simply 2 common electric charges for the whole building. It has nothing to do with my own electric car in my own space. No, it's a common area in which we're willing to put a couple of charging stations. In the future, of course, I reserve my right to put one in my own place with my own FPL charge to my meter and with the same rate that I have in my home, which it may be 4 to 5 times less than we pay for a charge.
Right, but what they're saying is that they are not really willing, or they're not, the rub is anybody from the 8th floor down can at this point install if they want to spend that money, which could be, depending on where your parking space is, a lot or a little.
could be a lot.
So if those people want to do it right now, tomorrow morning, they can call an electrician and do it.
Yes.
But Evercharge is saying, no, hold on a minute.
I don't see it that way, Maria.
Well, no, that's what the 2 attorneys are, that's what the 2 attorneys are saying.
I don't see it that way.
Well, but
This is a completely different, we made it very clear.
no, but that's the Evercharge contract. It's not like that's why we sent it to the attorney. So our attorney could talk to their attorney, because we are clear that what we want in the end is everybody to be able to put in a charging station in their parking, in one of their parking spaces. But, right, it could be next month or it could be 10 years from now. But right now, if you live under the 8th floor or 8th floor and below, you can put a charging station in your private space.
But that's not.
Okay, but stop, but that's so right there, right? So if we put in, Evercharge is saying, or the Evercharge contract stated that they would have exclusive rights to anybody that wanted to put in a station. So that.
No, that's not acceptable.
Well, that's why I'm saying that.
It's not
That's why.
acceptable, and that's not what I understood either. What I understood, and that's,
Yeah,
it
but
would not be fair for us that are managing this building to allow half of the population of the building to put in their own electric charging station just because they live below the 7th floor.
yes, but what happened between that time and now is that I gave you in your,
Yeah, we saw
at
it.
the end, is that Florida law
Yeah, safety.
says that they have the right. So anybody from the 8th floor down now has the right.
But that's a different contract.
No, that's not a contract, that's Florida law.
No, but for the law, we have an agreement, call it whichever you want, with this company, or we will have it with Link or whatever, for 2 common charging stations for the whole building, and not for any particular owner.
Correct.
So that has nothing to do if an owner puts on a line from their own source, electric source, to his own thing. He can do it on his own. But if we allow that to be done, we will be discriminating against the rest of the building that are living in the 8th floor and above. So then it's us that we would not like to have that. We prefer to have a final solution done with FPL, and we've been pushing for that.
Agreed. But the thing is that since we started pushing for that, and last week, Florida law changed. And now we don't have the authority to tell the owners that live from the 8th floor down that they cannot install
Let
a
me
charging
get that clear on
station.
this. What you're saying that by a recent situation, what we were talking last time is to have 2 units in which they charge, they pay themselves, and we can use, et cetera, et cetera. We can't do that?
No, we can do that.
No? So why are we talking about
Because
this?
there's 3 things here.
Right.
One is EV will install the 2 charging stations.
Correct.
Right.
Their contract that our attorney reviewed says, yes, we will install the 2, but if you want, if someone else comes along and says, I want a unit by my car to charge, EV will have the exclusive right to install that unit. So our owners would not have the open ability to go and get the deal that they want for their car.
I do not see it that way, because
that's
But it's not-
this is against the law, yeah.
No, but it's not. That's because the law changed.
No, but
No, but.
I understand.
But the contract
Right,
is what we're addressing. The
Right.
contract is limiting our right
Yeah.
to be flexible with our residents.
correct.
They want control to now and whatever happens.
For as long as they're here.
So that's one issue. The second issue is that the law changed, and as a board, we can't say, well, we're not gonna do anything because unless the 10th floor can do it, the 6th floor can't do it. The law says if you have the ability, you have the right to install your
X.
own thing.
Right.
So there's 3 things happening, independent, but it's affecting.
But it's affecting the
decision
contract.
On this contract.
Correct.
Of course, we cannot, on this basis, we cannot proceed.
So we can't.
So what I
agree
would,
with it, you know.
Right.
what I would tell Evercharge is that, okay, we were happy with their technology. We had very good references. They're, I think, number 2 in the United States, so we were willing to go with them. But now we have this stumbling block.
Correct.
I do not like any lawyers to take the decision for us. If this company values the future, which will be a real good contract, not this one right now, over 100 units, they should send someone from San Francisco here for a day and talk to and clarify this matter. Because we've been talking to an electrician that knows nothing about that.
Right.
Lawyers that are only talking about the legal language.
Right.
But this one little piece of language was very important.
Of course, and of course, if this is the interpretation, which I say it's crazy, and we cannot go ahead even with those two.
Right.
Correct. So that's where we are. I'm just updating the board that is where we are on the signing of this contract.
Okay.
Right.
Let me ask the question. How are we going, how has happened, the other buildings that are working, for example, Casa del Mar, which has 2 units there
Yeah.
and 200 units.
They have a blink, and I don't know what the contract of blink is, but probably
It might be more
It
flexible.
might be more flexible, it might not be,
and
but-
they're probably minding their own blink business and not thinking about what someone is gonna do with something completely different.
Plus-
Connect
plus
your
the-
home to your own parking.
right, plus, I mean, in all fairness to everybody who has a charging station now, this is a brand new law. That is a
Yeah.
bill that's about to become a law.
Yeah, but,
So
So-
we're actually looking into the future. This is a bill that is becoming a law.
okay, but right now, we do have buildings in Key Biscayne. Casa del Mar, I think also.
Yeah,
Colony.
right,
Key
Key
Colony,
Colony.
which have,
Two
not this
units,
company, another company,
2 units.
which is a whole different situation. We all know it costs them more than whatever it is. Well, what I'm trying to say is, we always thought that it would be an added advantage. Few will use it if they say, okay, somebody wants a car.
Yeah.
And they'll come in and book, and we would give them the 2 spaces, and we would give them the space, and we would charge something like that.
And that's what we agreed.
That's what we agreed.
But not at the expense of mortgaging our future electric.
Exactly.
No, we can't do that.
Okay, so right now, that's with the lawyers.
Back to the drawing.
All right, I was hoping to have
So what
something
is it?
now.
If they don't agree that, either we can go to the other people, or we just forget.
Well, I mean, we go back to the drawing board, like I said, we have to start over
But I mean,
because the Blink contract may be the same or maybe not. So
well,
we,
I don't know, because the Blink contract, we know what they have.
There's
Because
still,
we see it
there's
here.
still another company that we would
Yeah.
have to start negotiating with,
Right.
which is number one, and maybe they're more flexible as far as their
And then
legal.
more open.
all right, I mean, it's just honestly, I think that more than anything, it's that the company is in a state that the laws are radically different.
Yeah.
And so that's really what it is.
No,
And
they have not decided apparently to go national. They're very happy in
No, I
San
mean,
Francisco,
I
they have a
don't-
lot of business.
Yeah,
I don't know, but,
California.
okay, so anyway, that's where we are with that
so
contract.
that, well, let's put it from an operational, right now, we wait till they come up with the contract. If the contract goes up, we can even make a research with another company that's here or something like that. That's it.
Well, I don't know if it's here, it's number one in the nation, we haven't, I only contacted them, but
I
we
know.
haven't gone into the details.
Yeah, but in case that they demand this thing and we can't comply right now because that would kill the project, and then we say, okay, if you can do what we want, good. If you can't do what we want, we'll have to look for somebody else, because there is somebody else, because some of the other buildings have it.
Right.
Not our buildings, but the other, whatchamacallit. the
No,
other-
the ones that the other buildings have, which is Blink,
Right.
we studied that and we got a quote and it was, frankly, it was not a very good.
Yeah.
But there's a third one which is even much bigger than.
Okay, let's keep looking at it while we have that.
Well,
because
also, I
all
mean,
we're looking
we've just
for-
given the contract to the attorney. Just because we don't have it back yet doesn't mean it's a, fait accompli. Let's see if the attorneys come back and they can work that out.
Maybe the attorneys come back, the attorneys don't come back, we go back to the drawing board and we go with alternatives 2 and 3, because the whole idea is that we're not ready now, and we think it's gonna be a big thing with Florida Power Line, et cetera, to think everyone has muted. Besides, everyone doesn't have a electric car, and, but at least that we have the alternative, that if we, like other buildings have to say, hey, our building, if you have a car, who cares if it costs you more, but you have something there. It could be like a little add plus to Ocean Tower 1, if available. But if it's gonna create a problem, no, we can't do it. Okay?
Así Juan Flores, vamos a ver. Si quiere,
Quítate,
Quítate, quítate.
agarra ahora one police station in his parking garage. they have to do the calculation for the FPL power for our panel.
Yeah, but someone said that if you live below the seventh floor, you can connect it to your own.
Yeah, but they have to do the calculation about our panel for the main building. Because it's anyway, you can put a 50 car station
Yeah.
charging. Okay, they're going to install for their own panel.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that panel take power for our
Goes
building.
from the main.
Goes from the main
building.
They have to do the calculation to see our panel, and meet us
And
installation.
that's why it's so important that we somehow talk to FPL.
Right,
I
right.
don't think that the bill that is before the Florida legislation now really took any of that under consideration. And I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that they understand the ramifications of what they do.
No. Remember one thing,
Honestly, I
this
don't.
building,
Technical point of view, I do not understand.
this building was designed probably, 25, 30 years ago.
Oh,
30
Lord.
years ago, whoever thought of either electric cars existed, and if there's probably buildings now being built. No, they are being built. You go to the Aston Martin, all these buildings are being built. They probably have already done all that they mind, and they have the input, etc. So at the worst, we could say we tried, because one of the things where we have the little charging station, we just, well, as we have the alternative. It can cost me more, it's more convenient, whatever it is, but it's got something like that. Right now, that's what we have. Some buildings have things, some things have none. There's talks, some of the things, but even I understand the other OCA buildings looked into it, and they weren't going nowhere either. It's not easy. And there was.
All right, so I just wanted to update the board on what was going on with that
Okay,
contract.
great, thank you.
Then we have the painting of the building. So the base bid so we narrowed it down from 6 contractors to 2 contractors to 1 contractor. They submitted their base bid and, we had all of their base bid, but now we're going into the actual contract writing portion of the negotiations. Their base bid was $1,139,000. We had 3 optional work that we could decide upon. The painting of the railings with either the Kennar paint, which has a 15-year warranty against fading, not chipping, not wear and tear, not anything like that, just fading. So as the paint manufacturer and the contractor put it to me, you have white railings. Rarely do they fade, and especially if you paint the building every 8 to 10 years, they don't fade. So
That's
white.
Electrostatic paint.
Well, this is none of these are electrostatic, remember, because last year our paint job took longer than it should have because of all of the wind and the electrostatic. Okay, so this is a brush and roll method, which is what we decided on. So you can have the Kennar paint, which is $238,000, or the Benjamin Moore paint, which is $178,000.
What was the one before Benjamin?
Kennar, and that's $238,000.
So Benjamin Moore is the one.
I would do that, and as everybody told me, I mean, do the Benjamin Moore and just keep on painting the building because it's the right thing to do. So you have the bond at $28,500, the paint at $178,800, and the little vents, which I really want to paint on the top of on all of the penthouses that are the vents, that are the breathers for the roof. I'd like to paint those in black because they hopefully will look nicer. $3,600. What we haven't decided on is the receiving area pipes, the white pipes only. That would be $3,200. It's really not adding anything to the contract. Once you're over, once you're $1.5 million,
Yeah.
$3,000.
At the moment, at the total, we're talking, what's $3,000?
I mean, we're talking $1,350,000. So $1,370,000. It's
So the rest of the building will go with Benjamin Moore. So we're talking only about the railings, but we can do everything Benjamin Moore.
That's the suggestion.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but you mean more, but
It's very good.
I mean, Kennar is it's a super Cadillac of paint. But if you can't get 15 years on the building, I mean, you can get 10, but you know. So do we have a motion for the $178,000 for the railings, acquiring the bond at $28,000, or it's probably going to be a little more because we're going to be adding the railings to the base bid. Okay, so here's the motion. Let me start again. The motion would be to paint the pipes in the ceiling of the receiving area for $3,200. To paint the ventilation mesh in all of the penthouse level and the roof levels of the building for $3,600. And paint the railings with the Benjamin Moore paint at $178,800. And acquire the performance bond for the total of the job.
Motion. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
I have a question about the painting of the frames, the doors, whatever. Have we gotten feedback from owners about wanting?
For the electrostatic paint of the metal?
Yeah.
We have gotten some, but we are not where we should be.
So,
But keep in mind that we still have time to promote it a little bit more, because we have to, when they drop the scaffolding, we paint one line and the guys come back and then do those doors, because I really don't want to mess up the painting of the doors with the painting of the building. So it's a little bit of a juggling act. So we have a little bit of time to go back to the unit owners and
Okay.
see.
Excellent.
Okay, I think that's gonna do it for me and Lourdes. I know that we have a presentation from the Q&I committee.
Oh, it's you and I.
you and I,
Oh, this is,
I just want to say that we think we have.
is it the same thing?
Yeah, this is the one that I showed you
Oh, yeah.
earlier. It's, the total would be 9,903.
Stair.
For the stairs.
Right, great.
We thought that we could, keep the padding, but the padding is double stick, so it has to be,
We're just changing because of
so that the
uniform.
whole thing would be 9,000.
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, and,
Okay.
I mean, if you want to, here are the specs for the,
Do you have the different colors?
it's all one color, I just.
It looks, you know, from
Yeah.
the distance,
Oh, yeah.
when you look here, it looks
Oh,
two
I see
colors.
vertical and horizontal effect.
It looks like two colors.
Because that would be the step,
Yeah.
so that's kind of,
Okay,
That's it,
right,
Mario.
seems great. It's gonna be nice. in order to have it.
I'm good.
so.
And it's a
here-
nice
here are the
rug, it's a
specs.
nice rug. Right,
If you, it's Stain Master, and,
right, good.
you wanna take a
Whatever.
look at the specs?
Okay, great.
All right.
Go ahead then, right?
does it cover skateboards going down the steps?
And, I'm not so sure, I'll ask. Oh, and if I could mention, the next, Key Biscayne, the Village of Key Biscayne meeting will be on April the 27th. And,
The towers.
the towers that were supposed to be discussed on April the 6th, that were not, they're gonna supposedly gonna be discussed on April the 27th.
Yeah, you sent out a memo with
Yeah.
photos, right?
So if, if anybody's, listening to this and if they could,
Whatever.
write a letter, I sent pictures and it really, it's hard to
It's
see
hard
them.
to see how we
Right,
look.
but if you, there's one picture that has a couple standing next to the tower and you see how tall those towers are. So apparently they did not give, adequate notice of that so that the people in Key Biscayne could, study the matter and complain.
And the towers would be standing on a
No,
Key
the-
Biscayne,
They are already in.
they're already in.
They're already in. But some people want them to be taken down,
Oh,
because there was not enough notice given for the people of Key Biscayne to complain, to study the matter.
so it's a street just beside us here?
Yeah,
We can
Seaview.
go and see it.
Seaview,
See-
yeah. So, okay.
So how much is
Anything from the,
that's
Do we
installed?
need a
That's-
motion for the?
That's the carpet installed or just the carpet?
Yeah, no.
do we need a
everything
motion
is
for the
so great.
carpet?
I'm sorry?
Do we need a motion for the carpet?
Absolutely.
All right. Make motion,
Okay, so the motion to accept the carpet as proposed
okay,
for $9,903.68.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
We got a carpet. Now, we're finished, do this now, we've done, quite a few changes. I understand that, Maria, you're waiting for something for more plants or something like that, or what happened to that? Because I understand
Yes,
plants were coming in, but they haven't arrived.
No, not all of them have arrived.
Because what I said from the last meeting is that this has come out very nice, but because we changed it, there's a little bit of a space before, so it look, now that we need some, like further down, we need some space that, because we have now improved the view, they look more empty, or whatever it is. And I think what you said, so we're gonna put what? Some plants there.
Just one plant, no, one or two planters?
I mean, I don't know if you want to buy more planters. You'd have to figure out exactly where you're going to put them, and the height is important.
Right.
But I thought you said that we were gonna put some planters there,
We are.
but I haven't seen any.
I know, because they're not all in.
Oh, you already ordered them?
No, okay. So we have the planters that we have. I
Yeah,
ordered
we-
different plants,
No?
The
I-
plants,
the plants.
not the planters.
We don't have any more planters.
No, but I mean, we got one area that has no planters in it. And
Yes,
either you put
there's
some
one area-
planters there, or you
But
put some,
that area didn't have any.
you either put some plants there, or you put some decoration or something like that, because it does look like somebody started to make a decoration and stopped. Not because we changed anything, it's because now, this new view with this beautiful floor and reflecting, it makes more space available. And that's a few bucks. Well, how much is a
Personally,
plant?
I think.
Two
we
planters,
can-
how much
we
does that
can do
cost?
some things on our own, we don't have to have assistance.
Yeah.
And pay a premium, for little
Tchotchkes.
things, yeah.
We put a mango tree there.
Well, but sometimes you get a better price.
No,
Yeah.
I get it.
All right.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, it's
Okay.
being addressed, right?
Yes.
Are we have planters, or we ordering
No,
planters?
We don't have any extra planters.
We don't have any extra
Right,
planters.
so,
There's
and we're
none
not, and actually, I'm not sure that we're just gonna put a bunch of plants in either.
No.
So
I think
it's
it was
just a
only-
different-
I think it was only one in one area.
Well, there's one room there that has no planters in it.
Well-
The one that's right in front of the card room. That's the one that's more obvious. As I see it. I'm not a decorator, don't quote me.
Right.
It's just when you pass
Okay,
through.
oh, that one corner.
Yeah.
Yes, we have
That
to,
whole, the
yes.
whole two corners looks, I don't know. I don't know, if you put a chair there, I can say put a chair, put a table or something there. because they don't- We improved it, and then we end up
Yeah, yeah.
didn't get improved.
No, that's okay, we'll put it
No.
on there.
You put some plant inside one of those, there's a plant inside one of those, one of the card room. Yeah, but that's
Oh,
decoration inside. So I think let's address it and get it out of the way, so
Okay.
we're talking peanuts, whatever it is. Two
Yeah.
planters and new check, new tape, new plants, maybe bigger, smaller, I don't know. Just to fill it up, okay?
Okay,
Okay, anything else, Sylvia? Nothing for decoration?
No.
All right?
Thank you,
Then
thank
voter
you
coming-
for everything.
Wishing Natalie.
Thank you for
get
being
well.
on.
no, I will let her know. I did let her know today,
Yes, please,
actually.
No, I'm saying informing the
Okay.
meeting about.
Oh,
Well, you have
well,
your voter
I
representative
don't know if she
comment,
wants us
you
to
don't,
do
is anything else on that? You don't want to, why get involved?
Wait till the writing comes.
Yeah.
A recap.
Well,
Next time, let's see, if by next time,
It will
we got,
take, it will take 3 hours.
let's make it by next time we have some better news.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody at home for attending.
Thank you.
I will get better at this. No, I'm not.
Let me tell you, Steve has been talking and he addresses the meeting 2 or 3 times, in which he has